Okay, so if you're still following me for my lectures on practical magic, if you have Netflix, you can watch Merlin. How accurate is the Netflix TV show Merlin with regard to the actual Merlin from the mythology of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table at Camelot? We'll give you three answers. It's not at all similar. It's totally exactly the way it is. Or it's like thematically interesting. You choose, and then we're going to now continue. Okay, so Merlin, the TV show, doesn't really give you the whole picture of King Arthur and the whole shebang in the early season. Because Arthur is just a not king. His father is played by Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think his name's Anthony Head. Okay, so you've got Giles playing the king who forbids magic in his kingdom because there was too many black magicians and it caused too much of a ruckus. So he just said no magic. And then working for the king is the apothecary. The apothecary is the one who's in charge of purloining different things from the world. An apothecary might be asked to make an alcohol tincture of maybe opium. Apothecary, then, and centuries and centuries later, an apothecary became a druggist. In modern day, they would be called a pharmacist. So that's the apothecary. So you don't think of a pharmacist as having anything to do with magic. So it's perfectly fine for Giles, King. I'm still calling him Giles because that's who he was in the other TV show. But anyway, the king called this guy like the apothecary because it's a non-magical term and that guy could be there. But who was there to warn the king if it was suspected that magic was being used? The apothecary. Why? Because the apothecary was the actor playing the character looks like he's about 60 years old. So he's had a lifetime of experience, and someone who's 60 years old and they're interested in those kinds of things might have read so many different books and so many different libraries and so many different topics. This is somebody who's going to be a nerd. A nerd is someone who's just very perhaps bookish and knowledgeable. So we have a young Merlin who looks to be about, let's go with 22 years old, Merlin. And he's I'd say 19 to 22. Where did he learn his magic? Apparently he was just born magical. He just had magical abilities. Now, unfortunately, well, I don't know. Now, pretty much. See, the thing is, it kind of has, it doesn't jibe with the story of Merlin from Deepak Chopra, which is an excellent, excellent story. The Crystal Cave, story of Merlin and Arthur. Because in that story, Merlin aged backwards. In any event, I'm going to never finish one topic because I got so many sidelights. The sorcerer Don Juan Matus was able to change from a healthy man of 60, into a really old, sickly, ready to die man of about 78. Because he was a great actor. But did Don Juan Matus ever appear as a boy? I don't think it was written about in the Castaneda books. But Babaji, the great Indian yogi, is known to appear as a old man with gray hair or a young man of about 17. In one story. I mean, that's the whole thing. We've got so many stories. How do you know? Well, it's a theme. In any event, Merlin is an interesting one because it's very simplified, so you sort of get these ideas about what different things do. You could call Merlin not exactly an introduction to magic, because it's less than an introduction to magic. It's an introduction to the theme of magic. So if you want to actually take a course called Introduction to Magic, then you should probably keep watching this channel, because that's what I'm giving you. I am giving you the instincts for calling me out and saying, you just said that you were a squib in the last lecture and you don't do anything. Well, yes, it's not necessarily so. It's just a made in okay, another thing. If you see people wearing red shoes, it could mean, if they're in the know, that they're into magic and witchcraft. Someone is just over there and they're walking by with red shoes. So are they into magic? I think they just like red shoes. But if you told them the link between red shoes and magic, and they already were wearing red shoes, they're much more likely to investigate, wouldn't you think?